In the bottom left, holding off Alive's pushes, excuse me, and playing immaculately, we have our Zerg player. His ID is Liquid Zenio.
There he is, looking handsome as ever. Really smart and funny guy. I really like Zenio personally.
He's really cool, actually, personally. In the upper right, not playing his A game today. He's going to have to pick it up. We have Fnatic Alive.
Yeah, we're going to have to see, you know, a little bit better play out of Alive. Because Zenio played well that game, but it wasn't like phenomenal play. We were like, oh my god, how could anyone beat this? You know?
No, it was not immaculate.
Yeah. It was not immaculate. Good way to put it.
It was like, okay, you're good enough to be in Code S, but said, okay, second barracks, he will.
Yeah, but it's not like an 11-11. It's not a super all-inning. It's a 11-13 barracks, which is actually really quick. That is quick. He definitely wants to kill that hatchery. That is the goal of this, is not just some sort of pressure build. Zenio scouting around with a drone because he's actually really smart like that. He drone scouts more than most Zergs. Any Zerg that drone scouts gets, you know, a 5-star rating from me in that in intelligence, because
I'm always weirded out by these guys that do not scout.
Dude, yeah.
I've seen like White Rod do this where he just like scouts with Stalker.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
well, sometimes there's certain builds where you should do something like that, but guess what? More often than not, because you actually don't know what people are going to do yet. Ranked first in EAPM out of the 2012 GSL Season 1 players. Wow. Okay.
All right. So I had no idea.
In whichever one EAPM is, he's the fastest. I'd tell you if I had my computer, but I don't, so. Because I don't really look at those tabs that much. I only play in a Korean server, and I don't have English, and et cetera, et cetera. Excuses.
Yeah, my English client isn't on there.
So, well, okay, he's sending some extra SCVs, smart move. Zenio, though, making 8 lings, because guess what? He scouted. And here we go. He needs to make a spine, and there we go. Spine instantly going down. In fact, when you see 2 barracks, it might just be smart to make it immediately, even quicker than lings, because spines take so long to build. But once it's up, it kind of stops the rush. So here we go. The SCVs are going to want to build another one on the high ground, but I don't think this is actually going to get up. I think he has enough lings to delay this enough for the spine to get up. And here we go. Yes, he should actually attack move with these and bring some drones over to kill that SCV. He needs to kill the SCV making that. Oh, the spine's actually just going to finish in time. Look at that. Easy peasy. Even targeting with the queen. Great moves by Zenio. He's actually held this perfectly. The rush is almost over already. Careful, Zenio there. Careful, man.
Actually, he might be able to get that. Okay, that was close. He has one more SCV, though. I mean, if he can.
But he will not have enough repair power, too. That's just going to go down, and down it goes. They have to run out. And so with that spine there, now he wants to move it, but he can't move it right this second, because if he moves it, then the micro of Alive could possibly win in the game.
What is he doing?
Too close. If he targets that SCV, oh, he messed up and didn't target.
I don't even understand what he's trying to do now.
Well, what he wants to do is build bunkers here so he can push up the ramp where there's no spine. And actually, he's getting up that ramp right this second. Good moves, actually, by Alive here.
Yeah, I wasn't catching that at first. That is pretty smart.
Yeah. And this is just going to make it messy for Zenio. Oh, and he moved it. See, this is what you cannot do with that quite yet. And he, oh man, Zenio being a little bit not making his mind up. And, ooh, lucky for him, he killed off that SCV, so that bunker will eventually go down. But now he needs to make so many lings to actually kill off these Marines. Very annoying, really interrupting the economy here of Zenio. In fact, going to kill off some drones too. Good micro here by Alive. Everything is not going Zenio's way right now.
It was really nice by him. Just take out some of these drones. And it looks like the rush will now finally stop. And Zenio is now left to
oh man,
do whatever he can to win.
Yeah, he's left with like a lot of Zerglings, not a lot of drones. Not sure how many drones at the second. So 3, 4, 6, 7 there. Okay, 18 total. But basically, more than killing workers, he forced Zerglings all that whole time. And that's kind of painful. Now, he actually has a lot of slow Zerglings coming, but the problem is they're slow, so they actually probably won't end up doing that much damage. And, well, he's making more Marines. Just got a micro here well. Brings SCVs out. Nicely done. Good deflection there of those slow Zerglings. If those had speed, this would be a different game.
We've got combat shields now on the way. It looks like he's actually interested in continuing to be a little bit more aggressive. And the third command center is now on the way. I do like the way Alive's been playing this game. This is definitely one of these maps where you can really bully the Zerg around, so you might as well do it. As long as Alive could focus on his economy too. Because last time we had so much action, but then when we finally got back to Alive's base, he's like almost mined out.
Yeah. Well, another command center on the way. Combat shields as well. A lot of drones for Zenio. What is Zenio going to do to come back? Because, you know, obviously he got behind there. He does have more supply, but that is not everything. A lot of it's Zerglings that he doesn't want, and actually supply should be even higher in comparison. Now, look at this. A little push with a Marauder coming out. Combat shields are going to be done by the time he gets over there. And I think he just wants to force some more units, but no, he just... What? He's kind of hemming and hawing with those units.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he might want to just see if he can
take the watchtower and force some more lings, possibly.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now that he has combat shields, you know, against someone without speed, he's gonna at least trade okay against lings. It might, in fact, just go ahead and scan because there's a ton of creep tumors out. Very well done there. Killing off this many creep tumors, 4 of them for a scan, so worthwhile. Really slowing that creep spread down. Zenio has to be annoyed by that. 2 eBays being made at home.
Is he going to try to push in there when he has stim?
I think he's just saying, hey, I have a kind of funny high amount of units right now with Marauders involved, which downs the surface area that needs to use. But he's actually kind of going for it because Marauders do extra damage to buildings. So trying to go for it, and he's going to force more lings,
you know what?
6 more lings on
this action, or this angle, rather, really lets him abuse his spine crawlers.
Yeah.
He can fight them one-on-one.
And doing a great job moving up the ramp. And look at that, he has those Marauders in front now. They can tank a lot more damage than the other units. Really great moves here by Alive. Nice, very nice heal there by Zenio.
Yeah, very nicely done. Hitting some drones over here now. This is one of these situations where he should be able to hold this up. It should be more of a trade. Oh my God, Sick Queen goes down.
I tell you, this is actually such a worthwhile attack for Alive. He's done so much damage here, even though it's going to be cleaned up finally in a second. This was completely worth it. And now his supply leads by over 10, but more importantly than that, he forced a ton of Zerglings once again.
Stim is now about to finish. Attack halfway done for Terran.
Wow, look at this. 52 SCVs to 50 drones. Up to this point, 12 StarCraft 2 minutes in. Up at 54 SCVs. He's held Zenio below him in worker count the entire game. That's insane.
That's how you beat a Zerg.
That is how you beat a Zerg. So even though Zenio is going to make this look kind of close when the first attack comes out, you'll be like, oh yeah, see, he's caught up in drones, but the thing is, he's not going to have the explosion of economy that gives the explosion of units, which is what you need to overwhelm the Terran army. It's going to be extremely hard for him to deal with.
All right, we have some Marines controlling the middle of the map. The second factory is about to finish. So there's going to be a lot more siege tanks coming out here. More barracks finishing as well. And he's going to clean up those rocks that block off him from his third base.
1-1 and Infestor Energy on the way. Another hatchery at that third base, but of course Alive with the third longer than Zenio. But this happened last game. It didn't stop Zenio, did it, Baseless? No, it did not.
No, it did not.
Certainly not. Kind of funny that it didn't, though. Normally that's a pretty hard spot to fight from, but Zergs are getting so good with Infesterling style. Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Siege tanks on the way with siege mode. A little bit late, so the Infestors are going to be a very powerful force on the map until the siege tank numbers really go up. You know, that's how you keep Banelings at bay, that's how you keep Infestors at bay. Heck, that's why Roach Hydra doesn't work.
All right, we have another drop coming up here. Looks like he wants to come over here and try to take out some of the creep tumors while dropping to push the army elsewhere.
Alive coming in from
2 drops,
sides.
actually. Excuse me.
Now, drops are just good against infestors. If you catch the infestor, great, but they use a lot of energy to get rid of them, and it's hard to have infestors everywhere like mutas. Now, we do have a nice scan here. Taking out those creep tumors once again is going to make his future pushes much more powerful. Nice fungal layer cleaning up these Marines.
Another drop over here. Looks like the Queen will go down. And no, the Queen manages to escape. I spoke too soon. He picks up, he backs off. And you're dead on, by the way, Artosis, about having drops when they're fighting off against infestors. Yeah. Plus, you can even get in there and snipe the infestors themselves. I mean, infestors die so quickly.
Yeah, they do not have a lot of health nowadays, Stasis. But, right now it's 3-base, 3-base. He does have 72 drones, which is nice against 65 SCVs, but the economy of Terran, simply put, is going to be better because he continues to use mules. Zenio going to try to take a 4th, and that's something he just needs to. He needs to take a 4th, and heck, man, he needs to take a 5th. He needs to get that creep out there again, which just live has been all over.
All right, these Marines are here to scout a little bit. Again, he's done a great job of keeping that creep low, considering how long this game's been going on, which has been about 16 minutes, 30 seconds. Not much creep out on the map, really.
Yeah.
By the way, Zenio also is catching up. He's starting to really defend properly here.
Mm-hmm. Hive on the way, 2-2 for both players on the way. The 2-2 will finish slightly quicker for Alive.
I think we're just going to see a live push, and it's going to be up to Zenio to have the perfect banelings and infestors.
Yeah, you're completely right on that, Tasis. He's going to hit him before the Hive tech really kicks in, because it's 173 supply to 158. That maxed amount of supply is when you really start to hit. And something I'm a bit worried about is the larva count of Zenio here. It's a little bit low, so that if he's going to try... That was absolute madness.
That was like watching somebody get slimed. Like watching a bunch of nerds get slimed on Nickelodeon.
And down goes a lot of Marines and a couple siege tanks. But he did lose a lot of lings here. And he did lose a good amount of infestors. He lost 2 or 3 infestors in there. Well, 4th base finally going up. Some fungals, but see, a fungal like that isn't actually useful. Like if they've stemmed and they're trying to catch you, yeah, you can slow them down and not get caught. But now that infestor doesn't have a lot of energy. How much infestor energy does he actually have? I don't think he has many infestors out right now.
By the way, the Ultra Cavern is halfway done. Ultra Caverns make pretty quickly, so if you get some Ultras out, that might be a great way for him to try to hold up this attack.
Oh, another Macro Hatch being taken out. 2 infestors losing their lives right there. Just a handful of lings here. He is down in supply by over 30. And this push is not going to save, rather the push is going to kill the 4th, and the 4th cannot be saved. Lings coming in a flank, but I don't think even that's enough. Good micro.
You really have to question right now that decision there to attack with those lings. Yeah. As there will be Ultras out very soon.
Exactly. If you don't have enough to kill the push, don't attack. Find something else to do with your units, because there's no sense in just giving away units. I mean, there's certain high-level situations that you want to just whittle them down, but Alive has a big economy behind this. You got to crush armies with Zerg, and that is not what's happening here. Got to take out another siege tank, which is nice. Some banelings on the way, as well as Ultras.
I think this game is about to end. If he gets that other base. Oh my god, perfectly positioned siege tanks, by the way.
Yeah, really well done there. Going to be very hard to actually kill them off. Good fungals, but 3rd base looks like it might go down, Tasteless. Yeah, it's going down. Goodbye, 3rd base. Now it's going to be 2 base against 3 base.
By the way, Alive just now getting his 4th base up, so, ahead. Zenio held this off and stayed alive a little bit longer, then he would actually maybe have won. Maybe when the counterattack hit the only 4th base that Alive had. GG.
So we are tied up 1-1. Alive very happy with himself to get that victory after a bunker push that looked like it was completely failed, but actually did a good job.
Yeah. It was an interesting game. I think, he's just done such a good job of shaving off corners of the Zerg in that game. One thing about Alive, when you play him TVZ, he's going to hit you alive.
Yes.
He's going to go up.
Yeah, he does a lot of drops while setting up that death ball push. That is for sure.
He also positioned his siege tanks really well. I do not agree with the moment where Zenio
Flanked that attack.
Trying to keep the fourth base alive when he knew Ultralisks were going to be out soon.
Yeah, he should have waited for another round and tried to crush the army. Yeah, you lose your fourth, but you were going to lose your fourth anyways. If you give Zenio, if you show him that replay and you look at what Alive has, which he could see, you look at what Zenio has, which of course he can see. Zenio, do you clean this up? He'd say no.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to attack
That was like
it.
some weird impulsive.
Yeah, it happens.
What if I lose my fourth, then...
Well, that's the difference between players that, as we saw with Genio, he's been Code S 8 times, only has made it to the round of 16. That's the highest he's gotten. That's the difference between the round of 16 Code S and Champion Code S like DRG.
Yeah, Champion Code S DRG would actually
he would never have attacked there.
Like evacuate the workers out there and then try to hold it off when he knows he can hold it off.
But Zenio's doing well, man. It's 1-1. The next map is, in fact, dual site. So we're going to see some Infestor play most likely here.
Yep, dual site, a great map. Should be a lot of fun. Should be action-packed. It's one of these maps where, it usually gets cut in half. Sometimes top-bottom, sometimes left-right. Yeah. Just depends.
Well, the countdown has begun. Who will go on to fight Jelizerk for a Code S spot? And who, in fact, will drop down to Code A? Round of 32. We will see, Tasteless.
We will see. All right, get ready. Tastos is here. Mildly jet lagged from our trip back from MLG, but ready.
That's right.
Yeah, some more games for you guys. My brain is like so angry at me right now. I'm so exhausted. My brain's just like, just shut up and lay down. I'm like, I can't brain. Because this is the GSL Code S.